And welcome to Tackle the Board. My name is Chris Exusion. You can find me at Chris E. Bomb on Twitter. And my co-host, Russ Reese, the Vegas line reader. We're staying hot, Russ.
Oh, yeah, we're hot right now. I think that's 19-4 now, our last 3 weeks combined. I went 4-0 last week, and I gave out the 43-1 odds on the Western Kentucky to have the most bowl points. Hopefully, somebody watched the show and got that in. I talked to a couple guys. They're like, sorry, I missed the show. I missed that bet. I'm like, come on, man. You got to be kidding me.
I jumped on it, Russ.
Yeah.
And I tweeted it out there for the people to make sure that everyone knew about your play. And you knew how big I was with Western Kentucky with Zappy and the offense over here. I jumped on that 43-1, whatever that was. That ticket's sitting pretty. We have one game that I'm going to kind of have to sweat a little bit. We'll talk
Liberty. Liberty almost made you sweat on what was it? That next day, it was like 56 points they put up.
Yeah, 56 points. I can't think of the game off top hand, but
it was Liberty. It was Liberty.
Oh, Liberty. Oh, yeah, with the big QB that's going to be going on the draft. So they sat him. So the guy that went in there just like was the deer in headlights, and he just handed off the ball and tried to run. He got massacred, so it didn't even matter. So we were happy with that. We only have to sweat one game. I feel like for the rest of the bowl season, we'll talk about that game. I am actually going to talk about that game because I think that could be a high-scoring game. So we'll see where we go with that. But NFL has been red hot, awesome run. Everything's been good. We were absolutely crushing the board left and right. It was an AFC North kind of week, Russ. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, we've actually been crushing it lately, and I was looking last week. I'm like, it seems like a tough week, and we still won. And I looked at this week coming up, and I'm just like so excited. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so easy. So hopefully it's the same turnout.
Oh yeah,
because I got a lot of plays that are fitting my system. I've been on fire hitting these big system plays, and I have about like 6 of them this weekend coming up. But I got to narrow it down for the show. Gave up 4. I can't screw all my VIP guys, giving them every single picture free on the show. So
totally understandable, man.
Yeah, give a little teaser out to some people. If they want to message me, they can get those other 2 picks. So, but we're gonna keep kicking some ass and making some money here. So,
well, hold on. Speaking of, I got Western Kentucky most points scored. Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Seb.
There we
appreciate
go.
It. Thanks for watching. This is the guy that's been watching the show, tuning in, asking questions. It costs nothing, guys. You just watch the show, you tune in, you ask your questions, we deliver. Bottom line.
That's the thing. The winners are here. It's who wants to listen that wants to make money. That's the problem. Some people just rather gamble and lose. So whoever the smart ones that want to listen, we've been doing this for about 20 years, know how to win. So if you guys want to listen, good for you. If you don't, I don't care either way.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I could throw out a 10-team parlay and hit 1 out of 30 times and then just throw that ticket out there. But we're not about that, Russ. We're about winning bets. We put the single bets out there. You know, that's what we do. Believe it or not, I did do a collab with a parlay for a 4-teamer, not a 12-teamer, but a 4-teamer.
Nice.
And that ended up hitting over 11-1. But that was just in fun, good spirits. But the bets are in the single bets. Am I right, Russ?
Definitely. And when you did that for fun, you were picking your top 2 picks basically and someone else's top 2 picks. So that's always good if you're going to do a parlay like that, not just say, oh, I'm going to throw this in here. When you start saying I'm going to throw this in here, that's when you start getting into trouble with parlays. That's how you lose.
No, absolutely. You're 100% right. I gave out my 2 best plays and I threw it out on the Sharp app. I threw it out on Twitter. I absolutely loved the Bengals last week. That was like my number 1 play. This was a perfect spot against Denver that overachieved with everything emotionally and against a really bad team battling COVID. It was just the perfect storm, Russ. And Teddy Bridgewater, actually, I'll be honest with you. Teddy Bridgewater, when he got knocked out and Locke came in, I was a little worried because he's a free slinging gunslinger.
It's funny because you were saying Drew Lock was coming in. You're like, oh, this is bullshit. Drew Lock's coming in throwing touchdowns. And then people that had the Broncos, I saw some comments like, Drew Lock's killing me. It's like, well, somebody's got to pick something here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the right side with the Bengals. The Bengals were the better team. Burrow, he was running for those first downs, extending the chains, and then he had the throwing arm too. So it was good all the way around. It just. If Bridgewater was in the game, I think it got a lot uglier because we know we get a check down Bridgewater. You know, that's where we're at right now. You know, he does. You know what you're going to get with Teddy, but Locke, who has nothing to lose, who's free throwing, he just
Yeah.
does not care. That can get dangerous. That's what I
Yeah.
was kind of worried about.
You can't back guys who have turnovers because I almost took the Broncos this week, but I saw Locke. I'm like, I can't take a guy that's just going to turn the ball over. No way am I trusting him in his second game. So we'll get started, though. With
Yeah,
our
let's get this party started,
yeah.
because we could talk about all the success we've been doing, but it's about now in here, and let's do it. And Russ's first game, Lions at the Falcons -6. Russ, where are you going with this game?
I got the Falcons here. Lions are
Oh,
coming.
okay.
Yeah, the Lions are coming off their biggest win of the season, and
Okay.
they won handily in that
Mhm.
game. I'm all for fading one of the worst teams in NFL coming off that outright win, which was as a +13 underdog, and they won the game by a lot of points in that game. The public is backing the Lions here, so they're definitely being fooled here. The public. I see Matt Ryan. I've noticed these past 5 weeks he's been underachieving, has not been doing well at all.
All right.
This is the spot where he's just going to go off in this game. I can see him throwing 3 touchdowns in this game. He's going to have a nice little game here. Give me the Falcons -6. I like this spot. This is exactly what happened a couple weeks ago. I remember you liked the Broncos. You got scared off a little bit because the spread went up. This is another spot where the spread's going up here. People are betting the Lions. I like the Falcons here, Chris. I think they're going to have a great spot here at home.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it. I mean, we talk about this every week. If you actually watch the show, when these bad teams overachieve, they are such a great spot to fade.
And
I mean,
terrible teams at that.
this is one of the worst teams in the NFL. And I
Mhm.
get it. The coach, they like playing for him. He's fun. He's just some big, jolly guy. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, there just isn't talent there for him in general. It doesn't mean he's a bad coach. It just, you got Goff as your quarterback. Swift is great. But besides that, everything else is garbage.
And
So
yeah, sorry. I just wanted to I
yeah.
want to talk about overachieving also in the Lions last week. They had some guys who are below average players that went off in that game. The guy
Mhm.
Reynolds came in, was the running back. He had 26 rushes in the game. They went off in that game. And then they had St. Brown had like 20 fantasy points. Then you had Goff. He had one of his most fantasy points at quarterback. Like everybody just had one of their best games. So you're having all these bad players having their best games as well on offense. And Goff is now on the COVID list. So now you got him
Oh,
not
wow.
practicing. Yeah. So that's why that spread probably jumped up to 6 because of
Yeah.
Goff being out.
What quarterback going to throw out there? Who's their backup?
Yeah, I haven't even looked it up because I don't even look into terrible teams like this. I just know that the Falcons, this is a spot where the Falcons at home, I just feel like they're going to have a great game here. Where Falcons have been facing some tough defenses like the Niners, the Panthers the past couple weeks, a lot of tough teams. So when they do play a bad team like this, they could go off. They took care of business against that Jaguars game. What was it, 3 or 4 weeks back? So, and they won that game pretty easily.
Yeah, and the bad teams, like you said, the New York Giants in that neutral site game, they won by 7 over in England, I believe that was. And then on top of that, at Carolina, that was a pretty statement game for the Falcons. Like, I get it, the Falcons suck, but that was a pretty big win for them. A division game on the road, to win by 8. Is it overachieving? I'm not real sure, but you still have that veteran quarterback, and now he's facing once again. We are blessed constantly with the Lions overachieving in spots. We've cashed so many spots with the Lions overachieving. It's incredible. And we'll take this gift once again, it looks like.
Yeah, and even that game where the Falcons beat the Jets by just a touchdown, that was the first game they were without Calvin Ridley. So that was a big blow, and they still took care of business against the Jets in that game. So enough with that game, and I can't talk anymore about the Lions. We'll jump into your next game, and this is actually kind of like last week. This is a game we both like. We don't know who likes this game, but Chris is going to go first here. We got the Colts versus the Cardinals, and the spread is -1 for the Cardinals. Who you got here?
This is a great spot, man. We look at this every week. Lines are made on last week and all this stuff and everything. I'm all on board with the Cardinals here. I get it. Hopkins is out of the game. Like he's going to be gone until January. But we care about this week, Russ. This is the most important spot for us this week. Cardinals coming off that terrible loss against the Lions and off 2 straight losses and against the spread losses. Colts coming off that big emotional win on Saturday against the Pats. Outright dog winner. Actually, no, I apologize. They were a small favorite, but still, A lot of people are pounding the Patriots. I mean, they are the better team there. But
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray in his last 2 games, 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. I expect him to turn around it this week and get some middle tier pass defense. I think he's going to play really well. The Colts are averaging. The Colts are coming off averaging 29 points in their last 3 games. I don't think they can maintain that. The Cards have the 4th ranked defensive pass DVOA in the NFL, along with the 9th ranked run defensive DVOA. So I think they can, you know, bottle up that offensive run game. Taylor, I don't think he's going to have as good of a game. Cardinals are 11-0 off back-to-back straight up against the spread losses versus a non-division opponent. This is a great spot for the Cardinals, especially Kingsbury. Colts are 1-9 off back-to-back straight up wins versus non-division opponents. We're not going to overthink this, Russ. We're not going to get caught up in last week that they played so well against the Patriots. Giving the Cardinals laying 1, they're going to win this game. Thank you for the gift.
Exactly. Yeah, I knew when we disagreed last week, I knew it was a typical game that would be a disagreement, but I knew when you told me this game, I knew we would be in agreement with the same pick. So I like the Cardinals too. I'll throw in just some stuff. I mean, the Cardinals, yeah, they lost. We talked about the lines, but the other way around, we got the Cardinals who lost outright as the -13 favorite here. And Colts are just a team that are catching a bunch of steam. I'm hearing all the talks about Jonathan Taylor, how he's going to be MVP. So just looking into the Colts, I mean, they're just a team that I don't think they could make the playoffs here, but I don't think that they're that type of great kind of team here. They're middle of the pack in both defensive rushing and defensive passing yards. They're basically like 15th for both. And then their team, they've just been getting lucky. They're kind of like the Titans earlier in the season, like where they just get these lucky wins on these special teams and defensive touchdowns they've been getting. They had that punt block last week for a touchdown. Wentz had like 5 completions in that game. So this team really doesn't do much on offense. I could see the Cardinals. They're without Hopkins, but I'm not worried. They got the receivers. They got Ertz now at tight end. They have the weapons where they can put up some points. And we've seen with Murray being out that these guys have been playing great defense when they step up on defense. So coming off that upset loss last week, I just see the Cardinals defense showing up in this game. I could see this being low scoring and the Cardinals playing great defense in this game. So I definitely like the Cardinals here in this spot. We're both in agreement. And I noticed the Cardinals lost 2 straight games too. I see this Cardinals team. Yeah, whenever they also on top of that. I feel like this is a great team. So you don't usually see the great teams lose 3 in a row. The teams that lose 3 in a row are usually like the wild card teams. I still think this team's good enough to get that bye. So I'll take the Cardinals here happily with the small spread.
Oh, well, we got a new guy checking in. I'm not going to lie. We got a new guy checking in. He says the Cardinals are dead to me on the list. Well, you know what?
No, that's what you don't want to be saying now, because he probably lost last week on the Cardinals.
Yeah, correct.
So
you know what? You have to forget about these teams, because you know what? There's teams that I take and then I fade them the next week. It happens all the time. You don't get married to these teams, Russ. This is important. We're trying to make money every week betting football. That's number one goal, right?
Yep.
I don't care. I'll bet against the Birds. I don't care. I'll bet against the Eagles. It doesn't matter to me. I'm trying to give out winning bets for the people constantly. And if it's against my home team, then so be it. The Eagles aren't paying my paycheck, so it doesn't really matter to me.
That's the thing with our show too. Most people aren't going to like our picks sometimes, because our basis of picks, I base my picks. I don't take any of the public side picks. So that's why
I'm on that same boat too.
Everything's going to be the percentage opposite of the public there. So public's not going to like what they hear. Whenever I send out a pick to my clients, they're like, "Ooh, I don't like this." That's a good thing for me, because I don't want the side that everyone else is taking. So
totally understandable. And I get it. You get burned by a team a couple times. Do you want to take a chance on them again? But you're watching the show, and we appreciate that, because that's how we're doing it. But that's the number one thing. We might get burned on a team, but we might take them again because we like the spot, And Dr. Saab goes, "That's how you get smoked." Yeah, that is how you get smoked sometimes, but that's, you cannot be married to these teams. That's the number one thing. So that's where we go here.
It's all about knowing
the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's all about knowing the stock of the team before the season even begins.
That's Cardinals, a big deal. Yeah, absolutely.
The Cardinals are a good team. Their stock is good. They're coming off 2 losses. That's when you want them. You don't say, the stock is going bad. Oh, let's keep going with the streak. I don't follow streaks with football. I'll follow streaks in baseball or something, but football, no.
Yeah,
It's a
baseball
short.
is a different sport.
Yeah,
That's your
you
forte.
got
That's not my
17
neck
games.
of the
Yeah,
woods.
you only got 17 games in a season. You got to get right back if you want to freaking win. So I don't buy into these little times when guys have bad games. Everyone has bad games. We saw it with the Packers week 1 with Rodgers. Look how terrible that game was. That's basically the equivalent of this, how bad that Cardinals versus Lions game. Packers are one of the best teams in NFL now, and they lost week 1 to the Saints. They got absolutely demolished in that Saints game, and Saints are just an 8-win team this season. So not a team that scares you. So definitely love the Cardinals here. We're in agreement.
And it's always a good thing when Russ and I are in agreement, because if you've been watching the show year round, when we agree on games, I'm almost gonna say we're like 90%. I'm not even joking. Like I think we might have lost one,
especially when we switched to this best bet situation part of the we're not picking every single game.
No, we're not picking every game, but I'll tell you what, when Russ and I are picking the same game, it's been absolute fire. So I think this is very important. So don't worry about the whole, your Cardinals, bad luck streak going on. I get it. They lost the last 2 games straight up and against the spread. I understand why you're unhappy with them, but guess what? We get value with the line. That's the important thing, and everything's going well with them. So Cardinals all the way. So I -1. Thank you.
Yep, this is sports betting is all about throwing your emotions out the window. I just try to stay even keel every week. If a team pisses you off, you say, "Oh, I want that team next week." So we'll jump into your next game. You got the Bills at the Patriots, and the spread's -2.5 for the Patriots. Who you got here?
So I got the Bills. This is a spot that I really like the Buffalo Bills here. I know Cole Beasley is probably going to be out due to COVID unless he gets some negative tests that come in. I'm not too sure what the rules are as far as him coming back this week and everything, but the line hasn't moved. I'm kind of shocked. I thought it would have went up to 3.5 with Cole Beasley being gone. I think that speaks volumes. We talked about this game before. We really liked the Bills this last go around against the Patriots, and the weather was insane. The wind was blowing 20 miles an hour one way, and there was only 3 passes with Mac Jones. You can throw that game completely out the window. Like, you just throw it out there. You're done with it. Like, it means nothing. And I'm telling you, it means nothing because that game was wild. No regular football game should be judged on that. And we like the Bills, and now we're getting Bills on value, getting 2.5 right here. The Bills getting things rolling. They beat the Panthers 31-14, covering. Patriots losing that game against the Colts outright. They just lost. They didn't cover. It was all bad. And the Bills, they're 4-1-2 against the spread in their last 7 games in New England. I think that's important. I think they play really hard in New England. The Patriots are 1-6 as a favorite, less than 6 versus an opponent with revenge. Guess what? This is the most revenge you're ever going to see. The Bills were pissed off as anything losing this game. The fact this is a huge revenge game. The Bills should have won that game, minus a couple throws that kind of sailed off Allen's hands and everything. The Diggs on the sidelines. The wind was crazy. They're pissed off. Bills are going to win this game outright. I'm taking the 2.5. I really like them here. I like what I'm seeing in Devin Singletary also. Talk about a guy that's been kind of, playing really well, averaging almost 70 yards a carry. 70 yards a game, 70 yards a game. Got tons of carries. He got 22 carries last game. I think this is showing the versatility of the coaching staff that we don't have to throw it all the time with Allen. We can have a run game. We can do what we need to do to win a game. And guess what? They're going to win this game. I'll take the 2.5 just to take the 2.5 because it's there. I don't think it's even going to get up to 3, which is wild. I think people are going to be pounding the Patriots here, which is silly. Give me the Buffalo Bills. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Plus 2.5 for us.
That's what I like to hear. I know I'm still getting a feel on this game. I'm seeing the public is a little bit on Buffalo, like just 52% or so. But I know it's common sense would tell me to take Buffalo. They can't get swept but versus the Patriots, but I can't just think like that. It is definitely, I know. I feel like it's a game. I feel like it's going to be such a hard-nosed game. I just feel like it's definitely going to be a fun game to watch too. Definitely
It's
interested.
gonna be an intense game, Russ. This is a
Yeah.
big deal. This game, Buffalo needs to win this game. This is very important for them.
hmm Yeah, definitely, and especially with these games, I'm definitely guys, make sure you do all your research on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, since football's getting really crazy these past
With the
couple of weeks
COVID.
with these COVIDs. Yeah, because
Mhm.
luckily our picks last week, we didn't get involved with any of the COVID games, so that was good. We tried to stay away from those type of games because spreads are literally moving 6 points back and forth within 2 days. So hopefully things calm down a little bit. And
Hey, but we got another question over here. This is
uh-huh.
kind of a weird game because we didn't. I know we're not talking about it today, but
Good.
hey, people are locked in. They want to watch. NY Mentality One says, "Which side are you leaning
Chris,
for Thursday
Chris,
night
Chris,
football?"
Chris already knows who I'm on here. He knows I hate
I
the
might have
Titans
missed
right
that,
now.
but I assume the public is all over San Fran. But any contrarian feelings, Russ? I'm going to lead off since you're all about this.
So certain games. So sometimes I don't care about the bet percentage if it's a team that I feel is a playoff team, and I feel like the 49ers are a playoff team. And Thursday night football, the Titans, um, these guys, they don't have their team. They don't have. I don't know what's up with AJ Brown if he's coming back yet, but this offense cannot score at all, Chris. Like if you see they lost to the Texans. Their only win was that Jaguars game where they won like 20-0, but they scored 20 points. They didn't like do anything on offense. Now you're facing an actual smash mouth team in the 49ers, and you're on a short week here with an offense that can't score. Foreman got hurt at the end of the game, too. In that Steelers game, they put him back
Mhm.
in, but getting banged up playing on a short week, too, against the 49ers. The 49ers are just rolling right now. So I feel like I would take the Niners no matter what here.
I think honestly, it's funny that you talk about contrarian plays. I'm looking at the betting percentages right here on my other
hmm
screen I have right now. We got 54% of the overplay. I actually like the under here. I think it's going to be kind of a spot where
hmm
it's going to be a grinded out kind of game. And when
Yep.
I got to throw out another thing as well over here. So my man, so I thought Ebon had a fire early call on Cleveland last week that that COVID game +3. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
did. That was we liked Cleveland with those points and we talked about it constantly.
Mhm.
That was a great spot for. I mean, we already liked Cleveland. We could have laid like a point or something. I mean, but honestly, we were getting points, so we were more happy to take it. Luckily, we needed the points at the end of the day. But yeah, we were all over Cleveland. We didn't care if Nick Mullins was in. I don't care if Russ Reese was at quarterback.
Yeah.
We were
Oh,
covering
yeah.
that
Yo,
game.
that
It
spread
didn't
would have moved
matter.
to -10, man.
That's why I would take a 10 with you, dude. You would have
No,
ran off the
I
ball
think
beautifully.
it lucked out with Mullins playing because Mullins has been a starter before. So
Oh yeah,
Baker
especially with
and
the 49ers.
Keenum,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'll take points all day against the Raiders
Yeah.
with a
And,
bad
and this
quarterback,
is
and
a
Baker's a
team
bad
you
quarterback
talked about
anyway.
personally with the Raiders that you
Mhm.
wanted to fade all year. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the Raiders, I'll fade them any time of the year.
And you're laying points on the road. Thank you very
Now,
much. We'll take the gift all day. And they almost won the game, shockingly. Which
yeah, I don't
I
know
mean,
how
like,
they gave that game away. I can't stand when guys play back like
yeah.
that and just give up the
Mhm.
field goal. That was terrible. Um, so that's definitely a big blow to the Browns there.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. But yeah, Bills +2.5. I think they win outright anyway. I think it's a great spot as well. We're gonna get in the Russ's game. I'm kind of curious where he's going. I have something in my head where I feel like I like a side to it, but I want to see where he goes. Ravens, Bengals at Cincy. Cincy's laying 2.5. Russ, where are you going?
yeah, I'm going against those big overachievers already on this season again. I got the Ravens here. All right.
Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
Bengals, they're just a team that have been playing well as the underdog role the whole first half of the
Mhm.
season. They're not the type of team that you trust as a favorite, especially against the Ravens, who I think is a playoff caliber team. We saw what the Bengals did the last two times as a small favorite at home. They got smashed by the Browns and they got smashed by the Chargers the last two times. They were -2, -2.5. This is also a revenge game for the Ravens, who got embarrassed by 24
Ooh.
points
Oh, I
earlier in
like
the season to
revenge.
the
Yeah, a
Bengals.
little
Yeah.
revenge
So
tour spot. I dig it.
yeah, getting revenge, and you got embarrassed in that game, and you're an
Mhm.
underdog right here. And also, I see Lamar Jackson playing here, Chris. I think this
Oh.
spread will move. Yeah, he's got one of these bone bruises. Like it's bad, like he's in pain, But Chris, last week was a game. They played the NFC, a Packers team. It was not worth it for him to come out there.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
They can still go 2-1 the rest of the season and win that division. So this is why they waited. They got a big game. They were talking about how he almost came back last week, but
He was close.
Yeah, they're just resting him. They're messing around. He didn't practice today, but I'm still not worried. This is too big of a game to miss right here. This is a division game. It's for the whole division, basically, because the Browns, that was a huge loss last week. Lamar Jackson, he's 7-2 as an underdog in his career. So give me the points here.
Baby.
Yeah, give me the points here with the Ravens. And the Ravens, they won the other 2 games as an underdog when Lamar Jackson wasn't the favorite. The last 2 weeks they've covered as dogs. So this team just always comes out. They fight. They love being the underdog. Give me the Ravens here.
Yeah, that was the thing I was thinking in the back of my mind. I was curious where we were going. You said Ravens plus 2.5. I was like, where's Russ going? He told me this game, and I was like, where's he going? I'm thinking. I'm like, I like the Ravens here. If he goes with the Ravens, I absolutely love it. And he did. This is the right spot. Lamar Jackson probably will play this game. This is a hardball move. Like you said, Green Bay, NFC matchup, not a big. And Hunt, honestly, I would take these points with Huntley.
Yeah, he's looked good. He looked good.
Huntley looked good. And he can score with his legs. And he can throw. And you know what? As long as Andrews is playing, the dude was balling.
Just to show you how much hard that team plays, they lost all their cornerbacks. Jimmy Smith got COVID the day of the Packers game, and they still found a way to keep that game close against the Packers, which was absolutely nuts. These guys are going to battle every single game. I love them in the underdog role. Let's cash these guys with the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I love the Ravens in the spot.
And talking about the Bengals in favorite spots all season, they keep losing in those favorite spots.
We talked about the lines are made based on last week. Guess what? Bengals won last week. They're going to be a favorite at home. They would have lost that game. Maybe they could have been a dog. Maybe. But you know what? There's a perception with Huntley might playing next week, things and that. We're going to take advantage of that. I would still take Huntley plus the 2.5. But if we're getting Lamar Jackson in 2.5, like I'm all aboard. And Mark Andrews has been fantastic. Russ, all aboard the Ravens train. We're going to ride that through.
Chris, let me just show you some of these past games. So Bengals, they beat the Broncos, average team. Who did they lose to before that? The 49ers, a good team. They lost to the Chargers right before that, a good team. They beat the Steelers, not going to make the playoffs. They beat the Raiders, not going to make the playoffs. They got crushed to the Browns. They lost to the Jets. So ever since the whole first half of the season don't mean squad. Nobody plays defense. Nothing goes on. This is the time.
It's a lot of adjustments. A lot of adjustments getting
all
used
about
to
coaching, defense, the cold weather. It all had. The Bengals don't have that. The Ravens are going to take care of business here. And I heard about Mixon got hurt in the game, so who knows how bad his ankle is playing against this hard-nosed defense in the Ravens. So just some more reasons to take the Ravens here. Let's go Ravens.
Yeah, dude, I think it's a great spot. And I love that, because like Russ and I, we never talk about what sides we like. And I think that's important because we want everything to be organic and everything to, be reactionary. I had kind of an idea when he threw the game out, what side I liked. And the fact that he's on that side as well, I absolutely love it. But you know what? We're getting the bowl season. These bowl games, I'll tell you what, we got bowl games left and right. We've been doing well with them. Everything's been gravy. But I'll tell you what, we got some games that are going to be coming next week that are going to be during the daytime. I hope you guys take off, use that PTO, paid time off.
Oh,
We're gonna get a little tip on side of that because we got games that are going on 11 a.m., 12 a.m., and it's going to be a great time. You're going to want to watch them, and you're going to want to catch that extra bonus ticket.
I can't wait. And you love getting those fancy names. So we're getting into your next game. It's going to be the Wasabi Fenway Bowl Wednesday, December 29th. All right. Virginia -2 at SMU. Who you got here?
Well, we're in Boston. I've been in Boston. I was in Boston, was it last year, a year or two ago? Not crazy about the state, not going to lie. It's like an underrated kind of Philadelphia. It's kind of like Philadelphia, the small town. But the food's not nearly as good. The food sucks there.
Oh
So,
man, hopefully no one knows your address, man.
hey, that's fine. It's all right. We got a lot of Boston viewers. I appreciate it, and I rescind everything I say. But anyway, I don't think we have a lot of Boston viewers. Anyway, so I'm going to get into the game. So Virginia has their coach, Mendenhall. He's going to be resigning at the end of the year. This has been kind of news that's come out for the most part. SMU is going to be out with their coach, Sonny Dykes, says he's going to go to TCU. SMU is also going to be out with their top wideouts, Reggie Robertson and Danny Gray. They're going to be gone. They're going to the draft, so they're getting ready for the draft. They don't want to ruin their draft stock. 100 catches, over 1,400 yards, 15 TDs. That's a lot of offense. Not going to lie. Brennan Armstrong said I'm staying at Virginia next year, regardless who the coach is. I love playing for the Cavaliers. The dude was balling all year. Million yards, touchdowns left and right, played out of his mind. Both teams 6-6. I get it. They're going to both play tough. They're both like middle tier road teams that just got a bowl game. But Virginia is just the better team. So when I look at both of these teams, the defenses both stink. Not going to lie. SMU's 87th. Virginia's 108th. They're bad defenses. I get the over-under is very high.
Yeah.
But I think Virginia will equal that out with the motivation that they're going to get with their coach for his last game. He's not going anywhere. He's just resigning. It's just he's had enough. I think they enjoyed playing for him. They had a lot of excitement, the Cavaliers this year. They had a lot of exciting games where they're scoring, and it's been back and forth.
He's coaching that last game.
He is coaching that last game.
Okay, yeah. There's so much to keep track of with these bowl games.
Yeah, so I'm trying to give you the lowdown of what's going on. He is coaching this last game.
He was leaving, yeah.
He's resigning, but he is coaching this last game for his players. This is important.
Nice. I like that.
This is an important spot. And, the defenses aren't that great, but I think it's going to be equaled out based on that factor alone. Virginia's offense is ranked 10th based on Football Outsiders. The offense has been clicking left and right. They're in the ACC, which is a big conference. It's not like they're playing the Sun Belt or anything like that. The offense has been clicking. SMU's offense is ranked 35th. The problem is they're losing two of their big wideouts. So I think it's going to drop off immensely. I think that's very important right here. Virginia is ranked 9th in the country in offensive drive efficiency. There's a lot of motion, Russ. And mine too. This is a big deal. I mean, if we can get under a field goal in this game, I know the defenses stink. I get it. It's going to be a roller coaster ride. I get it.
Especially when you miss receivers on a small team like SMU. That's definitely huge. Like a small school, guys that are actually going pro, that's definitely huge.
Yeah, this is a big deal. And I think there's a lot of with bowl games. So you can look at the stats. I get it. Some teams are better in other stats and everything else, but there is a huge motivation factor. Teams get sent off in shittier bowls where they don't give a shit. And it's just whatever, they don't care. And I think SMU will try. But Sonny Dykes, he's out. He's going to TCU next year. It's not the best scenario. And Armstrong, he's gonna be slinging it. I'm kind of worried about an over total for Western.
That's the one thing you got to worry about. So that's the good thing that SMU, if they're not going to score as many points, so Virginia won't have to put up a ton of points, so it won't be a back and forth shootout type of game. If they get a big lead, they don't need to stick it to them.
I see that's where I kind of go. I mean, it might be a scenario where they might go back and forth, but I feel like Virginia at the end of the day will cover this game.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it will be. So if it isn't, that's a good thing.
Sure. If it isn't, then Virginia just rolls and we call it a day.
It could be kind of like how the Western Kentucky Appalachian State game went. Appalachian State was missing their star receiver, so Western Kentucky just stopped scoring because they were up so many points. They could have scored more, you were saying. But they're up so much, Appalachian State couldn't keep up, so there was just no point. So hopefully that's what this game turns into for you.
Yeah, but I love the Cavaliers here. This is very emotional with a team that can truly score a lot of points. And Armstrong, he said he's staying next year, so I mean, he's not going anywhere. He wants to play well. I mean, he wants to win bowl games. Is he going to really go into the draft and be a top draft pick? Probably not. So this is his time to shine. Rise and fire, as I say. You got to win this game, and I think 3 points is definitely more than feasible for this game. So give me the Cavaliers laying 2. This might even be a rout.
Nice.
So we're gonna get into the next game over here. So we got the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl, Auburn, Houston Cougars. Cougars are getting 2.5 points Tuesday, December 28th, 12 p.m. We talked about it. Take your PTO time, enjoy your time, get that bonus check. We got 2 games, early afternoon games. Enjoy the ride. Russ, where are we going?
Yeah, I got Houston here. So this is what I love. Like, this rarely happens. You got a team that before the season even began, Houston was on my radar. They're one of the most improved teams this year. And then you got Auburn, a team that before we even did the show, the win totals for the season, I said take Auburn's under in their win totals. They ended up winning 6 games. It was great. It was another cash. I was looking through our picks for the preseason. All our win totals are money. I was checking them out.
Money.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, hold on. I got to stop you here.
Yeah, we can check
our preseason over-unders and everything have been absolutely money. Watch the episodes beforehand. You guys are welcome if you watch the shows, because I don't know if a whole lot of guys watch the shows, but guess what? You cashed. Go on, Russ.
Oh, I know. That's the best part. The easiest part is the preseason picking those are the best. But
absolutely.
For Houston, they had their great season too. Like, they're motivated. They won 10 games, and then you got Auburn that just snuck in here by winning 6 games, and they lost Bo Nix. It's just like such a huge motivation here for Houston to get momentum, because Houston actually lost 3 straight bowl games. So this is just a spot where they won 10 games. They just want to finish this season off right. And then Auburn's coming off that Super Bowl game against Alabama, which they almost won the game. So I think people are going to see that they almost beat Bama. I think people are going to be taking Auburn here.
Perception.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so this just seems like the more we talked about the motivation, this just seems like the more motivated team. These SEC teams, whenever they come in and it's a game that they don't care about, they always get blown out. I always remember like UCF, when people are like, UCF, they should have been #1 because they blew out Auburn or something. No, those teams are good, but they just don't care playing those fast offenses. Yeah. This is that type of spot here. Houston, I'll grab the underdog all day. I love that they're an underdog too. They're not the favorite in this type of game, so it's perfect that they're and if you've been watching these first games, Chris, you've been watching or whatever, these underdogs, I think it's like a winning record. They're probably like 10-3 or something. Like, it's something crazy. Like, the underdogs are winning outright in all these games. So keep riding those underdogs, guys. Underdogs and unders for the bowls all day.
Yeah, it's been a good formula for the most part. You know, guys are playing tough. You know, they're playing for the schools. I think it's important. The only thing I have to say about Auburn, they have that new coach. They've been playing pretty well for him for the most part. So that's been kind of like a contrarian kind of feel to what you're saying with. But Houston's been really solid. So, I mean, I like you getting the points there, especially with Bo Nix being gone. That changes everything, because you got to change the playbook completely. Bo Nix is a running quarterback. I mean, he actually did throw really well for this season, like than other seasons before. And I think
he was getting you excited in the midseason. I remember one of our.
Well, by the way, I did cash that ticket that you were completely against. For the record.
Hey, that was one of their 6 wins. I remember that. Yeah, I forget.
You remember that, right? And I'm not a Bo Nix guy.
Oh yeah, that was the Ole Miss game, because I remember I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, the corral bullshit that you were following with.
Whenever it's something I start messing with, whenever it's something messing with you, it always ends up being like, oh yeah, Mississippi doesn't play any defense. I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you. Never mind.
No, but I mean, I'm not a Bo Nix guy. I just know my Bo Nix spots.
Yeah,
and I think that's important. So, you got him in corral mix a little bit. Now he's going to be like a second rounder probably, which the Eagles might take in their pick for the most part, which is going to cause even more controversy. But I think the fact that Bo Nix, I mean, he's not going to be on this team. And I think you're just throwing a guy into that mix. It's too much to ask for. It really is, especially with a new coach and all these different things. And I think the coach did fantastic for Auburn this year. I think he rallied these guys really well. But when you lose your top quarterback being a new coach, that's problems. And the Cougars have been solidified all year round. I have no problem taking the Cougars plus 2.5. So I'll roll with you there.
Hell yeah.
So that'll do it for our show, guys. Thank you for watching, listening, spread the word, all that good stuff. Russ and I have been on fucking fire. Not going to lie. We've been on absolute fucking fire.
No, 19-4.
19-4, our last 23 best bets. I mean, what else do you want from us? I mean, that you're paying a mortgage at this point. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, everything's been going really well. Russ and I have been locked in the entire season. So just keep liking, listening, subscribing, spread the word. I appreciate all the views that have been going on. We've been seeing all the views and comments. It's been fantastic. You guys can ask literally any question about any game. Russ and I will give us our best perspective about any game. So I have no problem doing that. And I think that's valuable at the end of the day. Am I right, Russ?
Exactly. And guys, we help you out with these easy winners. Help us back. Just hit the like button, subscribe, watch the show every single Wednesday, guys. We're just going to keep making money. And I have 2 picks that I actually love, that I didn't put on the show because I couldn't put too many games on here. So make sure you guys contact me and Chris. I got my handle right on here at Vegas Line Reader. Shoot me a message. I'll talk about any of the games and talk about the games that I really love. So definitely another great show tonight, guys, and definitely going to make some more money this week. I've never been so excited. I got so many games I got my eye on this week, as these past couple of weeks were like so hard to find ones. We finally got some easy ones this week, so definitely feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely. Russ and I have been on absolute fire, and I think, I mean, you've watched our shows, you've seen what we've done. If you follow me or Chris Ebom or Vegas Line Reader, you know what we're a part of. You just got to spread the word. You got buddies that love betting games. This is the spot to be. It's not hard. This is free. You just watch YouTube. It's right here. We're all set. We're winning games. You know, we're doing it the right way. So, hey, thank you guys again for watching Tackle the Board, powered by the Sharp app. Follow the Sharp app, download the app, all those good things. You know, find your best lines. Bottom line, you watch Tackle the Board, we're going to make that money. Russ, let's tackle that board.
Let's go and enjoy your Christmas.
Happy Christmas.